Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys are having a pretty good weekend watching some football. I got absolutely rinsed in basketball today. You can probably tell by my balance. It's probably down like $1,000 past couple of videos. I've just been getting absolutely rinsed. Didn't have Luke Cornett. I played Andre Drummond. I played Tyrese Maxey, so it was just over from there. One of the stances I took that is working out a little bit well is I just nuked Rudy Gobert. He's having a really good game, but unfortunately, Luke Cornett is just Luke Cornett. Amazing stuff. So he was good value. I didn't need the value. Yeah, hopefully you guys had a good day. I was dead from the start with Drum, Tyrese Maxey, etc., etc. So, unfortunate. As always, for you guys that don't know who I am, my name is Shook. All these videos, they get posted to this Reddit. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. You can ask me questions leading up to lock about the slate, so I'll have that linked down below. And then if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on Twitter here. I also post sportsbook plays on Twitter. Cash this play today if you guys are into sportsbooks. And then, let's get into the video. 5 game slate. If you're interested in like more sportsbook plays, private videos, core plays, all that stuff, I'll have my Discord link down below as well. All right, 5 gamer here. We have some tough matchups here. Like Clippers are a defense I really respect, but the whole team's questionable. Sacramento, their defense is their transition defense is good, but meh. OKC really respect their defense. Bucks as well. So we got some tough spots here. But let's jump into it. All right, Joel Embiid's going to remain out. Paul George was out today. Yabusele was out. I would expect Caleb Martin to remain out, and I would expect Kyle Lowry and all these guys to remain out here. Of course, Jared McCain's done for the year. So if we get the same situation that happened today, and the same situation happens tomorrow, I think you have to have some interest in the Sixers. I really, really do. I don't care that Tyrese Maxey burned me today. I just don't. The Bucks, what they're really, really susceptible to is opposing guards and scoring. What does Tyrese Maxey do? Elite scorer. Absolutely elite scorer. Going to play huge minutes in a competitive game. If they want any chance to keep this game somewhat close, it's going to have to be a big game from Tyrese Maxey, and it's a good matchup, like I said. If we go to, I'll just show you guys like the stuff that I use. If we go to this is how I like research all my props and stuff like that. Look, the Bucks, they give up the third most points to opposing point guards, so they're really susceptible to that. So I would love Tyrese Maxey if Paul George is out tomorrow. Kelly Oubre, I would also like quite a bit. It's just a minutes thing. Like, he is going to play huge minutes. Joel Embiid, whenever Joel Embiid's out and then Sixers are kind of thin, Nick Nurse really likes to let Kelly Oubre go. I don't know how much he played tonight, but I want to say he played a ton. Yeah, he played 40 minutes. So he's just going to play huge minutes. He's a little bit under a fantasy point per minute guy, but if you give him 40 minutes at that price point, I would like him quite a bit. Um, played 26 minutes. I don't know what's going on. Andre Drummond is just a shelf of himself of late. He'll be really low owned tomorrow if everyone's out. I like him as a bounce back candidate. No one's going to play him. Like, if you told me 5K Andre Drummond at the start of the year with Joel Embiid out, starting getting 25 to 30 minutes at $5,000, and no one was going to play him, I would have called you absolutely crazy. But that's where we're at. He would be a good bounce back candidate. And yeah, the values, Ricky Council will be the best value play on the slate. It wouldn't even be close. He would look phenomenal. If you're playing 150 max, I would just lock him in every lineup. Justin Edwards would be a good value. He got into massive foul trouble tonight. Was on pace to play a bit more, but would like him quite a bit. Eric Gordon be playable. Wouldn't love it. And then Doughton will get run, but he's more of like he's not going to score the ball a ton. More of like a stat sheet stuffer type deal. And then Bono will get the backup 5. More of just a giga large field GPP play. Now, let's go over if everyone is in outside of Caleb Martin and Joel Embiid. Then I still like Tyrese Maxey at 9.7K, but I think the best point per dollar play here would be Paul George. When Joel Embiid is in, Paul George really takes a backseat. He's playing a lot more off ball. But when Joel Embiid is out, he's actually playing a lot more on ball, and he's doing a lot of the facilitating for this team because Joel Embiid, he is unfortunately their best facilitator. So he's taking a lot more of an on-ball role, which really helps his floor and ceiling. Good rebounder, and he's doing a lot more offensively with Joel Embiid off the court. So he would probably be your best point per dollar play on the Sixers if he does play. Would like him quite a bit. Kelly Oubre would just be a secondary player for me in that scenario. And then the bigs, it's disgusting. They'd be playable, but more large field plays for me. And then I probably wouldn't get to any of this value. All right, moving on to the Milwaukee Bucks. So we have Chris Middleton probable. I mean, yeah, Giannis, one of the best spin ups on the board. I think, man, you have some good spin ups on the slate. You have Domantas Sabonis in just a smash spot going up against Tsar like Jonas Valanciunas. You have potentially Anthony Davis, not in the best matchup. Like I said, Tyrese Maxey, James Harden potentially. Although you do have Kawhi back, I like Fox. It's pretty good spend-ups on the slate. But if you're going all the way up to the top, I think Giannis is always one of the best. He'll probably be chalky tomorrow. I think it's a good reason. Moving on to Damian Lillard. I think the price point's a little bit too cheap. He's not a guy that I always want to go out of my way to like absolutely nuke him, but I always have interest in like playing a lot of lineups. I would always throw in some Damian Lillard. I think the price point's a little bit too cheap. No Joel Embiid, so the Sixers defense a bit worse. Should play huge minutes in a close game. He's been absolutely nuking of late. So if he's lower owned tomorrow, I'm definitely okay with it. If he's like chalky, then nah. I think the value plays here are good point per dollar plays as well, like Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, Chris Middleton. Now if you get like Yabu starting, Brook Lopez in a competitive game should play around 30 minutes. Could they limit his minutes in this matchup? I don't think so. I think he's going to get around his 30 regardless. He's been really, really good of late. I would honestly would have preferred Joel Embiid in to play Brook Lopez, but yeah, I think he's fine, good value at 4 points. It's just a little bit too cheap. And then Bobby Porter should play low 20s minutes. Same with Chris Middleton, both elite point per minute guys for their price points. I think they're both good point per dollar plays as well, and I think they'll probably be a bit low owned tomorrow. AD Green's out. You see more run for like Trent Prince. I don't know if I can do it. I don't think I can do it. All right, moving on to Brooklyn. Really tough matchup here going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Listen, I don't know if I'm running to roster a bunch of Nets tomorrow, going up against one of the best defensive teams in the league. I got to keep an eye on the Cam Johnson news. If Cam Johnson is in, it really hampers the production and the rotation for this team. That they just have one extra body, and their highest usage player would be back. So like that would hurt basically everyone. Clowney, I would assume, would go back to the bench. But yeah, if Johnson's in, I don't think there's much I want to play here. Claxton at 6.6K, I guess is okay, but the price point's now getting up there. I think my favorite play, honestly, would be D'Angelo Russell at 5.9K. Should play 25-ish minutes off the bench. Absolutely elite roll off the bench. He's stuffing his stats. He has the ball in his hands a ton. He's probably my favorite play on the Brooklyn Nets, and then Ben Simmons, probably my second favorite play. So I don't mind those two guys, but I'm definitely not running to roster really any of these guys. They're all priced up too. This offense just can't score. They are really bad. They might lose by like 70 tomorrow. All right, moving on to the Oklahoma City Thunder. We have SGA questionable. We have Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren going to remain out for this game. So if we get SGA out, once again, you have to have interest in OKC. You just have to play some OKC. And that would be min 1 OKC if SGA is out tomorrow. So, once again, same thing with Tyrese Maxey. I don't care that he busted. I just don't care. He would be one of the best plays on the board. With no SGA, he would look phenomenal. He also will do a lot more facilitating with no SGA. Good rebounder. Going to stuff the stat sheet. Going to have to do a lot more offensively. Matchup, but still, he would look phenomenal. Would absolutely love Jalen Williams. Then these values. They started Aaron Wiggins last game, and Case Smalls staying in the starting lineup. So these values, Lou Dort would be one of the better value plays on the slate. I would absolutely love him. Casey Wallace would be a great value at 4.3K. Aaron Wiggins, if he starts once again, he would look good for value. Jalen Williams starting at the 5. I like him quite a bit regardless. What else do we have here? Isaiah Joe would be a good value. Alex Caruso, I'm a little bit worried about his minutes, especially if like the game gets somewhat out of hand. He'll get his minutes limited. He would be my least favorite here, and it's not really too close. And then Kenrich Williams is in play at 3.1K as well. Then SGA's in. Yeah, I like SGA's spend up. I think J-Dub's fine, but more so priced right. I still like Lou Dort as a value. I think Case Wallace is still fine. And I still like Jalen Williams as a value. And like Joe, Wiggins would be playable. Wiggins would be priced right, though. All All right, moving on to Washington. Fine spot here going up against Sacramento, but like I said, they have one of the better transition defenses in the league. Um, so, and Washington like to play fast, so a little bit going against their strengths here a little bit. But yeah, Washington playing tonight. I do want to see what the minutes are. I checked a little bit ago, but I had to restart the video because there was noise in my background. So yeah, I mean, this is what they're gonna do. It's the fourth quarter. They're gonna play the starters, low to mid 30s minutes in competitive games. Um, you have a matchup here going up against Sacramento, which isn't the best. It's a fine spot. With that being said, I think Kyle Kuzma is once again going to be my favorite at 6.1K. Good rebounder, decent scorer. Just usage has been up, it's been down, but she'll play around 30 minutes in a close game. I think the price point's still a bit too cheap. Jordan Poole will be your play if you're going for ceiling. I don't think any of these guys are amazing plays, but still fine. I don't mind Sar at 5.8K. Tough matchup, but they're really letting him go of late. They're letting him do whatever he wants offensively. Can grab some rebounds as well. Should play around 30 minutes. So I don't mind some Sar. Wish the price point was a little bit too cheaper, but he would be my favorite secondary play of like these guys here. And I kind of like Bub Carrington for value. There were some quotes. They were saying they want him playing a lot more on ball. I know he doesn't have too many peripheral stats tonight, but she'll play decent minutes. If he's playing a bit more on ball, that's going to help his floor plus ceiling as well. So I don't mind Bub. I think Bub probably my favorite play on Washington with Kyle Kuzma. Koulibaly just kind of indifferent there. Not going to get into like the Keyshawn Georges, Corey Kisperts. Oh boy, here we go. Great spot going up against Washington. I mean, yeah, I absolutely love Domantas Sabonis, 9.9K. I think he's going to be really popular tomorrow. I think it's for good reason. Playing 40 minutes in competitive games, great rebounder, great scoring matchup. He looks fantastic. I really like Domantas Sabonis tomorrow. I think these other guys are pretty good too. Like DeMar DeRozan at 7K does seem a tad bit too cheap. He looks pretty good. Malik Monk's fine at 7.3K as well. I think I prefer Monk slightly to DeMar DeRozan, but both good plays. De'Aaron Fox is solid at 8.6, but when you have him at this close of a price point to Domantas Sabonis, I just prefer Sabonis. Keegan Murray I like as a value at 5.1. She'll play mid-30s minutes. So it's definitely somewhat decent amount to like here on Sacramento. And the key analysis out, you should see more running for like Kevin Huerter. All right, this game we could have a lot of players out for tomorrow. Could have a lot. So AD is questionable. LeBron is probable. If we get the same situation where AD is out, gotta have interest in the Lakers in a really bad matchup. Like I said, I respect the Clippers defense a lot, assuming they're all in. So if he is out, LeBron James looks fantastic. Austin Reeves would still be a really solid play, even at that price point. Rui Hachimura would be a really good value. Max Christie would be a solid value, but the price point's up. Gabe Vincent will get more run. And then Jackson Hayes would be a really good value at 3.7K. If we get AD in, I don't know if I'm liking too much here. I think Rui would still be a fine value. I'm not going to get to Max Christie, I don't think. I think AD at 10.5K would be solid, and then LeBron would be playable. And then, man, if Zoo's out on the other side of this game, and we get AD in, that would just be chef's kiss. So, all right, yeah, let's go over the Clippers. Everyone questionable here. If everyone's in, I think Harden's a good play. Just loses usage with Kawhi Leonard back. I think Norm Powell would be priced appropriately, but still in play. I think I'm kind of like compare him to like Trey Murphy right now. Zubac at 7.2K, just kind of indifferent there. And then the values, Kawhi Leonard played last game, 115. I don't think he did. 116, he did not. Wouldn't be too excited about the values. Now, if we get everyone out here, Kawhi's still in the minutes limit, so it'll be tough to go there. It would just be a stone cold large field play for me. But man, they would have to insert Kevin Porter Jr. back to playing decent minutes. I would assume all this value with like Derrick Jones Jr., with like Kevin Porter Jr., Chris Dunn, Amir Coffey. Man, all these guys would look great. I would assume Bones Highland would have to play a bit. What else? Mo Bamba would look fantastic. Like, you would have to play Clippers value if all these guys are out. So keep an eye on it. Could have some really good value here with the news. Moving on to Chicago, Lonzo is questionable. Levine is probable. You have a fantastic matchup. I like Levine quite a bit at 8.4K. I know he's been had 2 back-to-back bad scoring games, but peripherals up of late. Yeah, with Josh Giddey losing minutes, I think that makes sense. But she'll play big minutes in a great spot. Really liking Levine there. I think Vooch is fine. I think I prefer Levine. Josh Giddey kind of losing minutes of late with everyone healthy. He'd probably be my least favorite. Kobe White's just solid at 6.5K. Don't like Io at that price point. Patrick Williams losing minutes of late. If Lonzo plays, you can throw darts on him in large field GPPs. All right, moving on to Portland. Denny and Ayton were out for tonight. Keep an eye on the news there. If Denny and Ayton are both out again, then Robert Williams will start. It's a back-to-back. He could sit. So, like, potentially we could have even more value. But if Rob plays and he starts, he would be a fantastic value. Banton's playable. Scoot at 6'1's fine. Great spot here. Simon Sharp both look fantastic. Really like both of them. Jeremy Grant on the back-to-back. He could sit. Tamati Kamara could be playable. Just keep an eye on it. We could have more really solid plays here. So that's going to do it for the video, guys. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I'm going to go watch this football game, and I will talk to y'all on Reddit and in Discord.